Breaking news with Based and Bougie. Guys, if you guys thought this Liverpool situation couldn't get weird, what if I told you there could be a link between the Liverpool situation and Southport? Guys, let's get into this. So, first and foremost, let's start off with the fact that the media kept emphasizing the fact that I said the fact that like 5 times that he was white and they did it within 2.5 seconds. That was weird. The second thing that was very, very weird was the images of this man, which we're going to get into. But the third thing that really is like I couldn't bite my tongue and I had to present this to you guys is that there may be a link between this case and the Southport case. So basically, there's a man out there that exists called Paul Doyle. Now, it may not be the Paul Doyle, let me emphasize this, it may not be the Paul Doyle that the mainstream media is saying committed this attack. Reason why I'm saying this is because the Paul Doyle that was presented to me, and mind you, he has the exact same spelling, Paul and Doyle, just putting it out there. But the Paul Doyle that was presented to me, his date of birth is in November 1979, which would make him 45, and mainstream media is saying he's 53. So it may be a complete different Paul Doyle. However, in the case that it is the Paul Doyle, and we can't believe mainstream media these days, they're always lying about everything. But in the case, I just want to bring this to you guys' attention. So this Paul Doyle, who again, let me say this one more time, who again may not be the Paul Doyle that is presented us as the attack on Liverpool. He owns a company called Ever Open Eye Ltd. Now, if you actually look at the nature of this business, which it says on, company house, it says investigation activities. Now, we don't know what investigation activities that might be, but I find it a little bit coincidental. If we go into express.co.uk, express.co.uk said that Paul Desmond Sanders Doyle is believed to be a former Royal Marine commando. So it kind of links into investigative series because when you're working in the Royal Marine, you're basically working in the Department of Investigating, Protecting, and basically foreign policy. I may be wrong. I may be looking into it a bit too much. Let me also point out the reason why this may not be the same Paul Doyle is because the Paul Doyle that was presented to me doesn't have the middle name Desmond Sanders. But anyways, let's get right into it. So this company called Ever Open Eye Ltd has the address 72175 Shelton Street, WC2H9JQ. You guys can see it here. Guess who else shared this address, guys? A company called Redknapp Ltd. Now, guys, guess who else shared the same address up until of February 2025. Now, the owner of this company is Mr. Alfonso Rudacabana. That's very strange, don't you think? You guys tell me what you think. So the owner of this company is Mr. Alfonso Rudacabana. It says here that the address was 71 Shelton Street, London, postcode WC2H9JQ. Let's go back to the address of this Paul Doyle. Let me find it. 7175 Shelton Street, WC2H9JQ. And obviously, Alfonso Rudacabana, who is the father of Axel Rudacabana, if you're not familiar with that name, Axel Rudacabana is the guy that slaughtered 3 babies at Southport, and that's why we had the Southport riots. He changed this address on the 6th of February 2025. What do you guys make of that? You guys tell me, what do you make of that? Because that's a little bit coincidental. It's a little bit coincidental that we're finding out there's this Paul Doyle that exists. Again, it may not be the same Paul Doyle that previously, shared the same address as the father of a terrorist. I don't know. But then again, it may not be the same Paul Doyle, guys. Let me emphasize, it may not be the same Paul Doyle. Why? The date of birth is completely different. Second of all, so mainstream media reported that his middle name is Desmond Sanders, whereas the company's name doesn't have those two middle names. So it may not be, okay? Let me also emphasize that I am not saying that these two are family. I'm not saying they're friends. I'm not saying they're cousins. I'm not saying they're accomplices. All I am saying is that it's a little bit coincidental that there could be hundreds of people in this world called Paul Doyle, the same way there could be hundreds of people in this world called Based in Bougie. But I doubt there's anyone in this world called Based in Bougie. So I just wanted to present that to you guys. And if you guys find any further information, send it to me in the DMs. You can send it to me on X. You can send it to me on Instagram, because something about this case is just, it's not, when I have a desire and I'm curious about something, I can't stop. The second thing that was obviously so weird is that if you actually see the picture of the man who was in the car driving, it's completely different to the Paul Doyle that we are seeing in mainstream media. Okay, let me show you the photo. This guy looks very tanned. He has very dark hair. Not only that, but you can actually see that he has hair. Paul Doyle, he has your typical white man haircut. No offense to the white men, but a lot of you guys have that haircut where it's kind of bald at the front. In this picture, you can see his hairline is slightly low, whereas the Paul Doyle, you can see his forehead is a little bit larger. You can see in this image his neck is a bit thicker, and this one the neck is a bit thinner. Another thing that was brought to my attention is that the images are very, very, very strange. Now, I am very, very skilled at graphic design. Obviously, I edit my own YouTube. I used to edit people's pictures and things like that. Like, I'm very, very skilled at editing. So I know when something is fabricated and something is not right. So I posted this tweet saying, I don't know if I'm crazy, but this picture seems very, very off. And it does. If you look at the image from a zoomed out perspective, it looks like a normal picture, but when you zoom in, guys, look at the eyes, look at the teeth, look at the shadow of his sunglasses. Does this look like a real image, guys? Does this look like a real person? So obviously I went on Twitter and I said, guys, something isn't sitting right with my spirit. This picture looks a little bit fake. And they got like 38,000 views, and so many people flooded my comments basically asking AI, is this picture real? And AI said no. AI said no. AI is supposed to be, the most advanced. It's always advertised to us to be the most advanced method of technology, if that's what you call. That's what they keep telling us. AI is the future. AI is the future. So for AI to now be saying in the comment section that no, it's not a real image, proved my point, proved my intuition. So let's go into it. So one person, I'm going to go into it. He said the first photo shows a person in front of a dinosaur model, but the image has a very flat and unnatural look. Guys, when you take a picture, you see shadows, you see curves, you see life, but this one just seemed very flat, and that automatically got brought to my attention. The eyes in the photo appear misaligned and lack natural depth. It says the sunglasses on the person's head is the first photo have an odd pixelated edge. Pictures shouldn't be that pixelated, guys. And indicating potential manipulation aligning with technical. The teeth in the first photo look unnatural and uniform and lack realistic shading, guys. Just look. And you know what's so crazy? Although there was many people in the comments saying yes, I was right, and they were commenting AI said I was right, there was a lot of people just saying that I'm absolutely stupid and I've lost my mind. But I know I haven't, guys. I am skilled at editing. Basically, this is AI. This is not me. This is AI saying that. I'm gonna find some more. People also pointed out that the picture of his shoulder, the shoulder was almost chipped off a little bit. I'm gonna insert a picture. Now there was this other photo again, like, guys, I edit my own thumbnails, so I know what it looks like to carve out an image and put it in front of a different background. And this looks like a carved out image put up in front of a different background. And again, it has that flat thing. And not only that, his face is very smoothed out. The only people who smooths out their pictures is like Instagram influencers or like politicians and things like that. I don't think this guy called Paul Doyle, who has an investigation company, would want to do this. So the images just seem very, very weird. Again, another AI said facial features, the face has a slightly unnatural smoothness. That's what we keep seeing in his pictures, this smoothness, guys. The sunglasses rest in a way that looks off in terms of lighting and reflection. I thought the same thing. Background details, the texture and the blending between the man's head and the object behind him, possibly a sculpture or dinosaur figure, are not well defined and have this fuzzy mismatch blending typical of an AI generated composites. Guys, I'm not saying this. This is AI that's saying this. Someone also tried to be funny and zoom into my face. Like, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't edit my face at all. That was funny, guys. He dinosaur background in the photo appears staged, lacking natural lighting and consistency. Again, it doesn't seem like the lighting doesn't look like someone who's outside. I will show you a picture of myself when I'm outside and you can see the lighting, the shadows. With him, it's just not really there. Another thing that was very, very, very suspicious that I had to point out was the fact that when the man drove into the car of people, someone, well, Ricky Doolan pointed this out to me when we was on live. I didn't know this, but when the crowd was kind of getting angry and ready to attack this car, this man pulls up with a hoodie over his head, and the first thing that he does is removes the number plate. Let me insert it here. And the thing is with number plates, they're like plastered on. It's not easy to remove a number plate. You can't just like, it takes a lot of tugging. Sometimes you have to unscrew it. Like, number plates are plastered on. You guys tell me, guys, if you've been able to remove your number plate with that much ease. But don't you find it strange that the first thing a person done was remove the number plate? Not even smash the window, not even break the tires, not even go into the car and try to attack the person that tried to murder people, but removed the number plate. That is so strange. Another thing that was very, very, very strange to me was the fact that there were snipers on the roof.
I haven't got anything on me. As long as there's a point of our way, we're alright.
Guys, am I going crazy? Please tell me in the comment section, am I going crazy? Or am I a sane person to think, what is a sniper doing on the roof? A sniper is someone who works, I'm guessing, with the government, but a sniper is someone who is at a place knowing that there may be some sort of danger there. Now, I know with football events, there could be danger. Sometimes with football events, you have brawls, you have pub fights, you have people just, it can get a bit violent, but it's never like terrorism violent. It's never terrorism violent. And you guys told me, because I'm not a football fan, have you ever seen snipers or even policemen with guns at a football event? You don't see it. But with this one, for some reason, there was a sniper on the roof. I'm a bit confused. Now, the big question that I have here was, did the sniper manage to get there on time? As in, he got the call like, oh my gosh, terrorist attack, and he quickly got into the roof, because I don't know how he was able to travel through that crowd that quickly and get on the roof. I don't know how. Or maybe he was there prior. And if he was there prior, why would he be there? There's only two reasons he would be there: if he thought something dangerous would happen. But then again, we constantly have football matches and we don't even see policemen with guns. Do we even see? I don't know, guys. I'm not a football, goer. But you tell me, a sniper at a football event, and then a terrorist attack just happened. Now, there's a lot of people arguing about the fact that this wasn't a terrorist attack. People are just saying, oh my gosh, he panicked. He panicked. He just, people were provoking him. Guys, let me show you guys the footage again.
Oh my God! What the... Oh! No! What the... Oh my God, Allah! Oh my God! Oh my God! What the f... Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! Kill him!
Guys, that was intentional. I'm going to even slow it down so you can see he drives into the crowd of people. By the time he hit the first person, that impact should have been enough for him to realize, I've just done something wrong. That impact, you can see the way that person flew off. But no, he continued to keep driving into the crowd. Not only that, but you can see he slightly like slowed down and he like moved the car to where there was more people in the crowd. Now that's what I deem as a terrorist attack, because by the time he hit the first few people, space was already made for him to drive by. So he could have drove by. The path was already created for him. Literally, the crowd of people parted themselves the way Moses parted the sea for him to go. But he didn't. He decided to like swerve into the crowd where there were more people to harm more people. And you guys are trying to tell me that's not a terrorist attack. He just panicked. No one panics like that. Like, you guys tell me, when you guys panic, is your first thought to kill? Is your first thought to murder? I don't know. And another reason why I think this is a terrorist attack is because how many times have we seen this? How many times have we seen people drive into crowds, drive into Christmas markets, drive into people, and they claim, yes, they did it all in the name of terror, all in the name of, I don't know, an ideology that they follow. So while, like, you know, in life, you have to be able to believe what you've seen. I think that's a skill people need to understand. Like, learn to believe what you see with your own eyes. My eyes are telling me that this is not a man who panicked. Who in their right mind panics and their first intent is murder? Now, another shocking thing about this is that he did that right when there was like an ambulance car behind him. What? Who confidently commits murder in front of the police? Who does that? The police was right behind him and he still done it. Now, what was more shocking about this was that when the crowd finally gathered around this man trying to attack him, the police gathered around the car trying to protect him. And it brings me back to the conversation that I had with Ricky Doolan on live. I'm going to insert the video. We're going to make it a separate video, where he said when he went to Southport when the Southport situation happened, right? And he said that when a brick was thrown into a mosque, we don't know if that brick was intentionally thrown or it was an accident. We don't know. But a brick was thrown into a mosque. You had the police surrounding the mosque and trying to protect the mosque. And it basically mirrored what's happening here. The police surrounding this car. Again, guys, I may be looking into it a bit too much, but this is exactly what I'm saying when I say this situation is all too strange. Another thing that's very, very, very strange is the fact that there's only like a few images of this. I think there's only like 6 or 8 angles that we've seen online, which is very shocking compared to how many people were there. For example, if you go to these rallies, you see thousands of angles of the same speech, of the same person, you will see thousands of angles because there's thousands of people there. Lord knows, till this day, every time I scroll on TikTok, I still see different angles of my speech. I'm just like, oh my gosh. But with this one, there's only, if you guys search for yourself, but there's only like repeated videos. There's like 6 or 5 angles that are out there. And it's very weird compared to the number of people who were there and the number of people who had phones. So not only that, there's not a lot of images of what happened prior, which I'm going to show you guys.
Hey, Smith! Hey, what are you stealing? What are you stealing? Hey, what are you doing?
This was another thing that was very suspicious to me, was the fact that yes, these people were attacking this car, but why were they attacking this car? Maybe they just wanted to attack the car for fun. Who knows? Because, you know, when people have alcohol in their system or they're upset, I don't even know what game that was. Till this day, I don't know the game. I don't know. Maybe they was attacking this car, but the way that car kind of like drove back to attack the man behind him, I I may be wrong, but it seems as though that car was kind of provoking the people there. And I wouldn't be shocked, because why on earth are you even in that crowd of people? Like, why are you there? It's like a car trying to fit in itself, in our rallies. It's just weird. Like, why are you there? So there could be a possibility that these people were provoking the guy in the car, but there could be a possibility that the guy in the car was provoking these people, and that's why they were attacking him. But either way, that doesn't excuse you trying to murder people. Apparently, the youngest person that was injured from that was 9 years old, guys. 9 years old. 9 years old. You cannot tell me that you did not see that 9 years old while she was ramming your car into people, and people are going to tell me he just panicked. What?
There's a picture of the driver of the car at the wheel. There's another picture released by the authorities of what they claim to be the same man, except it quite plainly is not the same man. And the court artists in Britain, you're not allowed to take pictures in court, but an artist can make a drawing. And the drawing looked nothing like the actual driver of the car, or the man we've just shown you, or the man who was actually at the wheel. But that's not the end of these strange events. Is his name Paul Doyle? Is his name Jean-Paul Doyle? Is he a former Royal Marine, Special Forces, British soldier? Or is he a former BlackRock employee? Blackwater, I beg your pardon, the former mercenary giant. Was he with Blackwater? Was he with the Royal Marines? Was he with both? These are questions that deserve an answer, because if it's one or the other or both, that gives a profile to the alleged would-be assassin that is intriguing indeed. But even that is not the only strange thing. Who were the snipers on the roof in Liverpool above the parade? Why were they not wearing uniforms of any kind? Why were they not wearing police uniforms? Why were they not wearing British Army uniforms? Why were, and Warren Thornton, an acquaintance of the show, a former sniper in the army himself, makes the point very powerfully that you can't have two snipers and no spotter. You can't have one sniper and no spotter. A spotter with binoculars is an essential accompaniment to a sniper. It should be two snipers, two spotters. But there are only two people on the roof, and both of them are looking through the sights of weapons. Who were they? And why were they there? Is it normal in Britain for a football victory parade to be overlooked by armed snipers without uniforms? And lastly, why did Grok try to tell us that that picture we've just shown you was in fact not in Liverpool but in London, and years old from the siege of the Iranian embassy? Do they think Liverpool people don't know what Liverpool looks like? Do they think London people don't know what Lancaster Gate looks like? And when it was pointed out that the River Mersey was clearly visible in the pictures, Grok said, that's not the River Mersey, that is the Serpentine Lake in Hyde Park in London.
But to conclude, guys, the Liverpool situation is very, very, very strange. And I just feel as though what we are getting from the mainstream media is completely different to what we have seen with our own eyes. And when you actually look into the nitty-gritty details of this, whether it's the sniper on the roof, whether it's the man removing the number plate, whether it's, the policemen surrounding the car, like everything about this is strange. And then when you look at the images that look very fabricated, and plus AI, is telling us that something isn't right. And then you have this person who coincidentally has the same name as this man who committed a terrorist attack, and also previously shared the same address as the father of someone who committed a terrorist attack. Something is very, very weird here. And if you guys have any more information on this, or if you guys feel like there's something else that was a coincidence or was weird that I probably missed out on, please DM me on X, DM me on Instagram, DM me even in my email. My email is available on Instagram, and let's roll up our sleeves and get into this, because something is not, it's like I can't pinpoint what it is that's strange, but something is strange. And I feel like if we work together, guys, we could possibly figure it out. But anyways, guys, if you guys want more videos like this, like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe.